Data is like garbage. You'd better know what you're going to do with it before you collect it. A quote by Mark Twain, and I hope to show the importance of data and technology for the Bank of England and PRA. Okay, so looking at the aims of the Bank of England, the mission is to promote the good of people of the UK by maintaining monetary and financial stability. PRA has 4 main objectives, but overall their aims are to promote the safety and soundness of their firms and contribute to securing an appropriate degree of protection for policyholders. Looking at emerging technologies, I'll touch more on DLT and Gen AI on later slides. Quantum computing is an emerging field of computing that utilizes the principles of quantum mechanics to perform computations. Overall, while quantum computing holds significant promise for various applications in the financial sector, there are still a lot of security concerns that have to be addressed before there are any practical implementations. Then looking at robotic process automation, its technology is used by software robots to automate repetitive rule-based tasks and is often used in areas such as finance and accounting and provides organizations with an efficient way to improve operational efficiency. So I'm particularly interested in blockchain and DLT and Gen AI because they seem to be the emerging technologies that have already begun to make an impact in BoE, and they seem to have the greatest promise in being able to impact some of the biggest problems that are being faced by the PRA and Bank of England. And before I carry on, just before any emerging technology is actually implemented, I believe the bank needs to have a very strong and robust data platform because there are going to be millions of sources of data. So there needs to be a solid platform for ingress, egress, and to store data securely and in a protected way. So looking at some of the benefits of blockchain and DLT. Talking about graph neural networks, they can be used to analyze blockchain data for various purposes like fraud and money laundering detection. By learning patterns and relationships, security can be improved. Also, regulators like Bank of England get real-time access to transaction data, which can improve oversight and surveillance of financial markets. It can also improve authentication processes by providing a secure and tamper-proof record of identity information, which can help to prevent fraud. Looking at Gen AI, so NLP techniques can be used to collect information from various sources. So BoE analysts can access comprehensive data sets for more accurate analysis, and predictive models can be created to forecast economic and financial variables based on historical data and real-time indicators. That will help with anticipating future trends, possible scenarios, and making more informed policy decisions. Can also be used for fraud prevention and risk analysis by looking at anomalies and patterns in the market. Looking at some drawbacks, there are scalability issues in regards to blockchain and DLT. It can lead to slower transaction processing as users increase. There are also security and privacy risks. Data becomes publicly available. There are governance issues as the platform is untraceable to individuals. It can also lead to 51% attacks, which can lead to double spending and then can compromise individual blockchain security. There are also large environmental concerns, such as mining blockchains is a very energy-intensive thing to do, and so that's obviously not a good thing. Generative models can also heavily depend on large data sets. If they are incomplete or biased, then that can be represented in the data that's given, and that can have huge unintended consequences for the PRA. And also computationally, it's very expensive to research, run, and develop Gen AI. Okay, looking at a couple of case studies. So the Brexit referendum triggered financial volatility and uncertainties in several areas. Currency and financial markets experienced significant volatility and uncertainty about the referendum's outcome. This led to businesses and investors hesitating to make long-term investments in the UK, and there were concerns about new regulations. Although the PRA cannot preempt events like the Brexit referendum, it holds a vital role in ensuring financial stability amidst uncertainty. Through Gen AI, comprehensive risk assessments, stress tests, and predictive analysis can be used, meaning the PRA can protect the welfare and of consumers and reduce the negative impact of unpredictable events. This really highlights how emerging technologies can help the PRA meet one of their biggest aims. Looking at COVID-19, the pandemic caused severe economic downturn. Unemployment grew as 1.3 billion people lost their jobs. Governments had to spend a lot of unprecedented stimulus, and the PRA can help to mitigate crises like this by conducting risk assessments, stress tests, and scenario tests. So BoE gathers data from various sources, and technology and data such as DLT and Gen AI can help provide regulators with real-time access to transaction data and compile it into a useful way much more efficiently. And so this can help prevent any huge negative spillover effects, enabling them to reach their goals of financial stability. Thank you for listening.